What if I started a YouTube channel and shared my passion with the world? I got millions of views, I got interviewed by Oprah, and then I could sign huge marketing deals, create my own brand, get money, fame, glory? Yeah, it's not quite like that, is it? If you started your YouTube channel and you feel like maybe it's not going so well, you feel like maybe it's dying or it's failing, then today we are going to talk about the steps that you can take to get it back up and running. Before we do though, let me know in the comments why you clicked on this video in the first place. What is the thing you think you're struggling with the most that is keeping your channel wherever it's at right now? So first, I actually just want to congratulate you on even starting a YouTube channel in the first place. Go on, come on. You deserve this. It takes a lot to leave your comfort zone and put yourself out there on the internet. It can take a little bit of time to get yourself up and running at a pace that feels really rewarding and where you see actual growth. With a little bit of help, we can get you there. It might help you to know that starting a YouTube channel in the first place takes a lot of work, even for those channels who make it look easy. What you see posted online is the finished product of somebody's incredible amount of time, hard work, and effort. It's only the tip of the iceberg. I think it's about time we start having an honest discussion about what goes into making one simple looking video. Ideating, research, coming up with titles, thumbnails, editing the entire video. I mean, all of these things, if you've been on YouTube for any amount of time, are not new to you, and you know how difficult they can be. Even the biggest channels on YouTube are taking these same steps, whether or not they're doing it by themselves or they have a team of people helping them. It's all the same amount of work that goes into creating a video. It's a lot. So it's especially frustrating when you're posting videos and nobody seems to be watching them. In order to have that frustration though, you still have to post. You still have to put in the same amount of work. You still have to try. So let's talk about once you've had a few videos on your channel, they're not doing what you want them to do, what can you look at to make sure your next video doesn't suffer the same fate? Number one is watch time. And this is the total amount of time that people spend watching your videos on your channel. If you notice that a video's watch time is really low, then that is a signal that your video might not be engaging enough, or it might not be covering the topic that people expected it to cover when they clicked on the thumbnail. It could also be things like your production value, such as audio quality. Perhaps your audio is a bit distorted or muffled, and it's really hard to understand what's going on. You have to put yourself in your viewer's shoes and try to ask yourself, would you watch this video? Be honest with yourself here. In a scenario where you're going back in time and you're remaking this video, what are some things that you could have done better in that moment? Similar to watch time, but a bit more specific, is audience retention. This is simply a measurement of how much of your video a viewer is watching before they leave. The audience retention graph in your YouTube analytics is your best friend here. If you're looking at the low watch time and you're trying to ask yourself why things don't look so good, well, your audience retention can help you reveal specific parts of a video that might have had people leave early. Paying attention to your audience retention is really going to help you narrow down what the problem might be. Are people leaving too early? If so, are they hearing you say something that makes it sound like you're about to end the video, even though you're not? Are people dropping off right in the beginning? Perhaps you have an intro that is just way too long or distracting. Are you getting that slow, gradual decline? Some people are staying towards the beginning, but by the end of the video, they're almost all gone. This could mean that your editing simply needs some improvements. You need to keep your video at a really nice, comfortable pace so that people don't feel bored and leave early. As I list these different metrics, I understand it might be a little frustrating because none of these are going to give you a really clear answer as to what is actually going on with your channel. I understand that struggle because I go through it myself with our videos on this channel. So my goal today is just to help you get in the right mindset to start to diagnose the issues that are going on. Anyway, let's just get back to the list. I just wanted to give you a little bit more context because this can be very frustrating sometimes. So next, traffic sources. Where are your views coming from? Search, recommendations, external websites? Understanding what's driving the most traffic is going to help give you some answers here. For example, let's say you made a video that was meant to be blowing up in search. You did your research, you know this is a topic that people are always looking for answers on, and you know that not a lot of people cover it. Yet, your search traffic stinks. That could be a sign that it's time to do a little bit more keyword research. There's obviously videos still ranking above yours on that topic, so it's time to go back to the drawing board and change your title and your thumbnail. And yes, you can change it later on, it's okay. Another interesting one is traffic from external websites. If you notice that a specific blog or a Discord server is sending you a lot of traffic, investigate that. It means that somebody out there found your content helpful and they're sharing it with others. It's a good thing. Next up is audience demographics. It's really good to understand who is watching your videos. This is going to help you continue to narrow your focus on a specific audience. You can look look at things like age, gender, and where people are watching from. If you happen to get a lot of viewers from France, for example, but you make English-speaking content, maybe it's time to invest a little bit in getting your videos captioned in French. Another one not a lot of people talk about would be devices and browser. What are people physically using to watch your content? If you have a lot of people watching on television sets, then are they going to be able to click the like button even though you're begging them to in the video? If people mostly watch on mobile, are you making graphics that are really hard to see because they come in way too small? The goal here is to make sure that your videos are compatible across as many devices as possible, but primarily, wherever your audience is watching, I would lean into that one being the favorite. Personally, for me, if a lot of people are watching my videos on television sets, I might consider my next investment to be a 4K camera. Another obvious one we talk about all the time is click-through rate. We talk about this all the time, and I kind of mentioned it briefly before, but you want to make sure that your titles and your thumbnails are clickable. This is a tough one to measure because click-through rate percentages look different across all types of channels and videos. Click-through tends to start off kind of high, and then throughout the day, it gets lower and lower because your video ideally is reaching a wider and wider audience. On top of that, as your channel grows, your average click-through rate will continue to change as well. So I just look at YouTube giving me positive signs on my click-through rate when I post a new video. Is it telling me that my click-through rate is higher? Do I get the little green check mark in my dashboard to say that the thumbnail and the title are working as usual today? Signals like that tell me I'm on the right track. At the end of the day though, if I have a high click-through rate but not a lot of reach and I'm not getting the viewers I expect to be getting, then maybe I'm just covering a topic that doesn't have a very big audience. In any case, to improve click-through rate, it takes research. Look at the titles and the thumbnails of the videos similar to yours on YouTube that are doing well. Take time to learn more about the softwares that you like to use for creating thumbnails. Having awesome titles and thumbnails is not something that will come to you overnight. It just takes practice. So those are the steps you could take to identify your core issue, but now what do you do with this information? Well, you look to improve, and for some, that might actually be pivoting altogether. It's okay to pivot and change your mind, especially if you haven't really built up a massive following yet. I promise you, nobody is sitting at their desk waiting for your next upload, and it better be the one they're expecting it to be. So during a pivot, it's important to make content that you are passionate about first and foremost. Making content you're passionate about is the best way to stay motivated so you can make as many videos on this topic as possible and continue to cater to that same audience time and time again. Maybe that was your problem. You took on a topic that you thought was kind of cool or interesting or would get a lot of views, but at the end of the day, you weren't passionate about it. I promise you, covering topics on YouTube for the sake of views will always put you in the same situation. As you look to improve, don't be afraid to try some new things and experiment with different styles and formats for all of your videos. This is another case where I would also tell you to go look and see what other creators are doing. If there's a cool gimmick that you really love on someone's channel, don't be afraid to steal it a little bit. Take it, iterate on it, make it your own, but try to find fun things to do that make your videos stand out. Another thing you could be doing is using social media to connect with your viewers outside of YouTube. Subreddits, Discords, Facebook pages, wherever your audience is hanging out, learn from them by being involved. Ask questions, read comments, look at questions other people are asking. This can inspire video ideas, but it can also just help you build a stronger connection with the people you're trying to reach with your content. And then of course, another approach that can help you fix a lot of problems on YouTube is consistency. If you're finding it hard to consistently make YouTube content, then it's time to treat this like a job, like the job you want it to be. So lay out your weekly schedule, get it in front of you, and then find times that you can actually block out for creating YouTube content. Treat this like you would any other obligation. And if that means you only have one time every single week to work on YouTube, that's okay. Maybe that means you don't post as often as you would like. But dedicating that time and those resources is going to help you create really high quality, well-researched videos. What I'm saying is don't just post content for the sake of posting content, and don't post a whole bunch of content only to take a break for like a month at a time. Trying to find a schedule that works really well with your day-to-day life and make content as consistently as you possibly can. And this conversation we just had plays into the hand of another video we've already made about tips to get seen by the algorithm. If this is something you're struggling with, that's the video for you.